thought it was oats. So I was telling people that she got a little bit fresh with oats. And then one time she had to correct me at a party.
Well, a hickey from Hootie is the name of a Hall & Oates song. So
okay.
That's probably where you get your lines crossed. Folks, welcome to Werewolf Radar, the world's premier paranormal preparedness podcast. My name's Jordan Dahl.
I am Nate Baldwin.
I am Roger Norquist.
And joining us today, a very special guest, Jimmy from Spooky Appalachia is here. Jimmy, what's up?
Hey, guys.
Hell yeah, happy to have you, pal.
Happy to be on. We've been trying to do this for about a year, haven't we?
It's been about a year now when we first initiated the conversation.
Yeah, we had a plan to do it, and then I had to have emergency surgery, and
bit by a werewolf, but he's all right now.
No.
See what I did? Today's episode of Werewolf Radar is brought to you by Monstroco brand mystery meat. What's in it? How dare you? How dare you ask that of a meat as mysterious as this? A meat older than the very roots of the mountains. Mystery meat gets its flavor from the mysteries interlaced with the meat, and you would ruin that for mere curiosity? Do not seek answers that were not meant for you, son of Adam. Do not read the ingredients written Aramaic upon the label. Silence your questions with a mouthful of mystery meat from Monstroco.
Is it tofu?
You can't ask questions.
I'm trying to eat less red meat. I just want to know.
It's not necessarily red meat. It's
like the package is glowing.
It's green meat.
The package is glowing. You guys are angering it. The letters on the side are rearranging themselves. Oh, I looked directly at it and I saw how I'm going to die.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
There goes the bunker.
It's pretty, it's in a pretty happy circumstance. I die in bed surrounded by clowns. Like I've always wanted to.
No friends at all, just clowns.
Mm-hmm. But at that point, I've just made friends with clowns. I've finally supplanted all of my friends with clowns.
Right. Yeah. Cut the tethers to your normal social group and become one with the circus.
Or maybe at that point, the clown virus, the C virus, has swept across the globe.
Oh, the clownification has fully rendered humanity hilarious.
Finally packed the earth into that one car.
One car that they launch across the universe.
And it's a Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah. It gets to another planet and just explodes with clowns, and the whole thing starts all over again. May I take the speaking skull first?
Yes. This week, I do believe we're going heavy on the Appalachian.
Okay. Well, then it's good that
Appalachian.
Then it's good that I'm starting.
That's a weird way to say it.
I don't know how your words are spoke.
No, it's Appalachia.
I'm not going to be talking about that. So it's a good thing that I'm starting out, because then we can get into the theme proper after I'm done. I was goofing around online and I came across a pretty terrifying firsthand encounter on the Humanoid Encounters subreddit. That was posted 3 days ago by a user whose name I'm not going to say because it's confusing and offensive. No.
Humanoid Encounters subreddit just sounds like the most incel thing I've ever heard. I ran into a girl.
I said, they're like another species. So this is titled, hang on, first of all, I'll take the speaking skull. I will gently trace my fingers across the indecipherable runes carved into its bones. And there we go. It's activated. And I will speak. This is called Ratman Encounter in Houston, Texas.
Oh, no.
Ratman.
I wouldn't be surprised from there.
But one of us had to do it. Okay, this is from the user. I had an absolutely bizarre experience at a Texans football game, and I just need to share it with you all to see if anyone else has ever encountered anything like this. Last fall, I was at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas, when nature called. What does that mean?
Well, we've been playing too much D&D, but I believe it's a level 2 spell where you can summon animals.
Right. Yeah. When nature called, which means he had to take a huge dump, I headed to the bathroom. Now here's where it gets weird. Just goes on to describe taking a leak. He says, I've never had this happen before. Liquid started pouring out of me. No, I'm at the urinal, and out of the corner of my eye, I spot this guy in a hoodie. But that's not the freaky part. Yeah, we know. Hoodies are fine. He had this seriously strange nose that was kind of flaring, and he was chewing on his own finger. The guy looked just like a rat. I was so creeped out that I could barely move. He had this intense gaze locked onto me, and then he put his fingers up to his lips like he was telling me to be quiet and walked away.
Oh,
yeah.
Goosebumps. Also, I was chewing my fingers like a rat man as you were shooting, and I was like, oh, no,
You're the rat man.
That might be the rat man.
In that
Master
moment.
Splinter.
Yeah.
I believe they're called the Skaven.
The Skaven, in trying to connect this to some sort of mythology or looking up like history of Ratman encounters, I got a lot of Warhammer 40K shit. A lot of the first hits were like, so you're trying to build a Ratman army. I was like, yes, but not in the way you think.
I'm trying, but I don't have the money right now.
In that moment, I felt the most genuine fear I've ever felt, like the kind that sticks with you. No one else was in the bathroom. Has anyone else encountered something like this at NRG Stadium? Maybe not exactly at a football game, but just seeing someone or something that made you question reality. It's been bothering me ever since it happened, and I'm hoping I'm not alone in this. So this person saw something that, stuck with them one way or another. Maybe they're having some kind of a mental episode or something, but it was pretty weird. And I was like, oh, that's kind of scary, especially the idea that the guy would be like, shh, you didn't see anything.
Although hilarious to anybody in a public bathroom.
Yeah. Shh, you're peeing too loud. So I went into the comments, and lo and behold, lots of people seeing Ratman out there, y'all.
What?
Yeah,
I've actually heard a story too.
Interesting. Why don't you tell us your story that you heard?
I had heard. I don't remember if it was somebody told me this or if I read this somewhere, but somewhere near me there was a person that stopped at a rest area sometime at night, and just like there was a person hanging out outside of the rest area in a hoodie.
Yeah.
And they got closer to the person. It was kind of a short person, and they saw a weird rat-like face, and same thing. It went
whoa, crazy. This This seems to be how the encounter goes again and again. It's like they're trying to hide their features, and then when somebody sees it, they somehow know that they've been made. They're like, oh, you see what I am. Yeah. Very crazy.
But why be out then? Like,
right?
If you're telling people to be quiet about it, like, why are you even out? Your plan's not ready.
They want a truck stop egg salad sandwich.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough.
They're up here for vittles, man. There's maybe the underground is getting maybe they're running out of egg salad down there, so they're coming topside to get some treats, and their fucking disguised person spell drops or something.
Fair.
Well, and maybe they normally have some sort of ability to make you see them as a normal human.
Yeah.
And some people can just kind of look through it.
Or maybe there's some kind of maybe they're experiencing blowback from COVID-19 where it's hampering their ability to cloud the minds of the topsiders, some kind of sickness. Anyway, I'm going to write this. This is all good fiction.
Mm-hmm. Call it Down with the Sickness, the Ratman story.
Oh, yeah.
One of the replies is, "You are not alone. I live in Houston, Texas, and I have seen a quote unquote person that fits this description while driving near NRG/South Main area. I was sitting at a red light and felt that I was being stared at. So I turned my head to my right, and in the car next to mine was what looked like an adult human-sized creature sitting in the driver's seat, but he had the face of a mammal." Okay.
I get it. Like a mammalian human.
I hate to break this to you, but humans are mammals. But yes, I get what you're saying. At the time, I thought it was dog-like, but it could have been more rat-like as well. His face was covered in fur. He had a snout for a nose and whiskers, also had the beady, non-human eyes. He stared at me with such intensity without looking away, and I felt the most visceral fear, sort of a sinking feeling in my stomach, and I wished I could drive away at that moment, but I was stuck at the light. Drive.
Yeah, at that point, like, you're
You
good.
didn't want to break the law.
The laws of man mean nothing when there's rat people on the board. Get the fuck out of there.
You know what's good? You know what? The judge is going to be fine with you arguing that you had to get out of here. There was a Ratman.
I finally was able to speed away, but that image has stuck with me. Everyone I've told has just laughed it off and chalked it up to my mind playing tricks on me, but they just don't understand. It was super freaky. Yo, just for the record, we're laughing with you because we are afraid.
The judge would have been like, "Picture it didn't happen."
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
the judge would have, but like I think you could have won overall.
Or the judge would have been like, "Bring us cheese. We shall release your queen."
Also, was there possibly a furry convention our chat wants to know?
Yeah.
Because it could just be a furry having too much fun.
Sure, or not enough fun. We also have a reply that says, "Okay, this reminds me of the time I was visiting New York last summer." Now, look, I live in New York. I mean, redacted. But I've been to New York, and that's where I'd expect to find some rat people, you know?
That's where I would have thought.
Right?
Because you have all those kings.
Got all those rat kings. I was walking through George Washington Park, and I swear I saw a man with a rat face, and not one like yours, but a nasty, hairless rat. It was crazy. I stared as I was walking past, but no one seemed to bat an eye, and it was busy, and people were just sitting around talking. For some reason, I felt like it was a mask, but one of those movie-type masks that require hours of prep.
Now that could be
Anyway,
too.
I bought my heroin and went about my day.
Well, yeah, I mean, after something like that, you got to unwind with a little heroin and jazz.
I've definitely heard stories. I don't know if they're true, Jordan, of sometimes people in various monster productions just going out with their makeup and having a fun time.
Oh, yeah.
Either just
supposedly-
ordering food or like actually like spooking people.
There's a famous story about Robert Englund going to like a Burger King while he was shooting one of the Freddy Kruegers, and he didn't have to. He was like doing an interview, and he didn't have time to take his makeup off, so he went to Burger King and just like ate a burger as Freddy, and people in there were like, "Let's get out of here."
Mario, what? Keep slapping me, Martha.
Yeah.
You know, if it takes 6 hours to get into it and like 3
Yeah.
hours to get out, like,
Yeah, I would.
what are you going to do?
For real. Here's another one. Yeah, I'm from Houston, and something shockingly similar has happened to me. I was at the Houston Comets WNBA game, so why does it keep happening at stadiums?
I think
Rats fucking love sports, man.
I guess that's a
Best
good
explanation I could think of.
I also think in a more legitimate sense, the amount of garbage and trash. Maybe
Interesting.
Ratman also like that, just like a lot lot of trash, and that's the
All that
most that they can get.
popcorn,
Yeah,
all those nachos left over.
they're eating it straight
Oh.
off the floor, man. They're not even
Sure.
waiting for 5 seconds. They're like 5 minutes, good enough for me.
5-day rule.
Have you ever seen a janitor who wasn't a rat man?
Fair. So they're at the WNBA game getting concessions. The concession worker was looking down and being quite fidgety. Actually, they say quiet fidgety, but we'll let that slide because this person's clearly terrified. So once I walk up and ask for some popcorn, the concession worker then glared up at me with the creepy rat humanoid eyes. The way he sucked his almost cartoonishly large teeth shook me to my core, and he stared into my eyes as then did the same shh motion as I backed up and walked away. The strangest part is that many people were around me, but no one else seemed to notice.
Wait, so this was an employee?
And I'm leaning more so to where they have something that's hiding them and only a few people can see it. So they tell them to go. Like. But
very strange.
And this is because I've been just thinking so critical of stuff so I can trick them and then use their spells against them in Baldur's Gate. What is their purpose of working the cashier? Like, are they trapped in capitalism as well?
It's like you said.
I think they're
just trying to live a normal life.
Yeah. I think they're just living in society. They got a job where they can get as many, dropped ice cream cones as they like. And they, those are the fringe benefits. And they're just trying to, maybe they've been freaking exiled from Ratopia, the secret kingdom of the rats, and they can never go back.
Watch out on your next Tinder date, people.
Yeah. Just ask somebody straight up. Be like, are you a rat person? It's cool. I'm a friend of the rat folk.
Okay.
There's a lot of people agreeing. This person says, I've definitely seen someone like that, but no one seems to believe me. This person says, just your average Houston resident. Hilarious. This person says, I swear to God. A lot of people seem to suggest that it's maybe some sort of physical deformity, maybe some sort of illness, but then why the stuff like that. Anyway, that was something that I came across. A lot of Master Splinter goofs in
Master
here.
Splinter.
I will say I looked elsewhere. I did kind of a little deep dive on the internet looking for other encounters, and it doesn't seem to be hot off of the presses. So if you have Ratman encounters, please hit us up on any of the many social media networks where you can find us. And if you are a rat person, hit us up as well. We don't want to make war with the under folk. We wish nothing but a pleasant day at the baseball field for you.
If you are
they're big fans of X.
Yeah.
If you are a rat person, also hit us up on our website instead. Mm-hmm. Humans on the social, Ratman on the website, werewolfradar.com.
Exactly. Human on the streets, Ratman in the sheets. That does it for my segment that I'm calling Ratman Carruthers. And I am going to offer up the speaking skull to one of you other gents.
Nate, take the skull.
Sure, I shall take the skull.
Sounds like you saw a Texas fan. No need to stare. They just look like that. Very funny.
I don't like how those rat people shush you. Do you remember that Buffy the Vampire episode where everyone's all silent?
No,
I forgot what it's called.
That was the creepiest one out of all of them.
That's what that reminds me of. Yeah. And they're all going shh.
Yeah.
And then floating.
Yeah. Scary.
And they had their madman on chains.
And they're all rat people.
The rat folk. They're infiltrating society and taking,
maybe Joss Whedon is a rat person.
Also, apparently, it's rat possible. People is a slur. Rat men refers to.
What isn't at this point? There is somebody somewhere who has used every word in the dictionary to try and hurt another person who is different from them. And which is not the way we mean it.
For Googling purposes.
We're talking about rat folk.
For Googling purposes, rat people will get you into slur country and various websites. Mm-hmm. Pro and con. Rat men.
That takes
take you to Warhammer stuff, which also might have some weird politics.
You got to Google Reddit Ratman sightings.
I've Googled Ratman encounter, and that took me straight to pornography. So again, it's a razor thin line you're walking.
Oh gosh,
that's the society we live in, though. I get it. I'm some of those.
Yeah.
All of the options.
Mm-hmm.
He's the Peter North of rat people. Come on. His tail is huge.
Stupid. This gigantic tail. Okay.
Mate.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we are going to, as promised, we will be traveling to the lands of the Appalachian Mountains.
Right.
This is an article from the Johnson City Press. This is the November 6, 2000 issue from Banner Elk, North Carolina. Lee's McRae College has a wealth of creepy tales. For many years, strange happenings have raised goosebumps and inspired chills on the Lee's McRae College campus. While the ghostly visitations are not seasonal, Halloween brings haunting tales into the open. Tate Dorm is a natural place for eerie presences. The large stone building began in the early 1930s as a hospital that served mountain people for many miles around. Of course, many of them, old and young, male and female, died there over the years.
Hospitals, airports of the afterlife.
60s. Yep. Then in the 1960s, Lee's McRae made it into a dormitory. It has served as home for hundreds of young women since that time. Many of these students have experienced events that are not easily explained, that could even be called paranormal. Quote, when the Tate was the hospital, a little girl died of tuberculosis there. Her name was Emily. Supposedly she lives full-time in the library, but when students are away, she goes into Tate, said Allison Norris, the director of residence life and summer conferencing at Lee's McRae, and a former student. So apparently they're letting you know, hey, if you come to Lee's McRae, you might be rooming with a ghost.
Yeah, you can't live in the library because it's taken.
For decades, the library staff have felt the presence of Emily. She's a legendary figure who primarily haunts the stacks of the Sterling collection, the Appalachian archives of the college. The archive is located in the back left corner on the second story of the building. I guess we don't really know that at all. Mm-hmm. Because of the rarity of some of the holdings, the doors from the main stacks are usually locked, and access must be gained through the library offices, then to an elevator.
Interesting. So now I want to know. Now I want to know what secret books they got back there.
Oh, all of the history of Appalachia, my friend.
Tobin's Spirit Guide.
All the secrets that have been told.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not ready for that many secrets.
It's a lot of secrets.
It's gonna be a lot.
Yeah.
It is a comfortable, relatively private place for a ghost. Besides thousands of volumes of regional literature, a number of stuffed birds and animals reside here. Files, books, tables, and chairs have been mysteriously moved over the years, and Emily gets the blame. Anything that happens unusual, we always say that Emily's at work again. We accuse her of bad things and good things. She's really not a bad ghost at all. Sometimes she's helpful, but she can make you feel uneasy, said Ramona Hayes, a library technician who's worked for 16 years in the Carson Library.
What an incredibly forgiving work environment to live in. Anytime you fuck up.
Oh, man, that would be great.
Oh, no, I don't. You know who probably ate your lunch? Emily.
Probably.
Emily. She was hungry.
Oh,
Emily accidentally hit send on that email, guys. I didn't mean it.
Emily put all of those swears into that late night drunken email that I sent to everyone.
In the past, Emily has been credited with aiding the staff. A former assistant librarian who has left the area, not because of any haunting experience, used to tell one particular story of Emily's bibliomancy. A volume in the Sterling collection couldn't be found. After weeks of searching, the staff decided that it must have been misshelved. Which you think after weeks, even a misshelving, you might figure out, whatever.
Yeah.
One evening, as Rosie was working through the stacks looking for the book, she heard a rustling sound a couple of stacks away. She asked if anyone was there, and when she received no answer, she went to investigate. She found no one, but the missing book was pulled out from the other books on its shelf, its spine a good 2 inches over the edge.
Oh, boy.
So, I mean, like we've often said, even in death, if you persist, you have to do a job forever
and ever and ever.
And I mean, maybe it's just, she just wants to be helpful. Like, that's fine. She's choosing to be helpful. Maybe she hid the book in the first place, huh?
Maybe that's
Maybe
helpful.
she wrote that book.
Yeah.
Might be Emily's book.
Was this Appalachian State
This
University?
This is Lees McRae College in Banner Elk, North Carolina.
Never heard of it.
We doubt your credibility.
Cray burned down over 100 years ago.
It sounds like it might be an all-girls school, so maybe it's also like a Jesuit institution or something.
I'm afraid that those credits aren't going to be transferable to a normal state system.
I mean, you never know.
Emily will make it happen.
Emily will
make sure they take those credits.
Emily doesn't care. You want to cheat?
I swear to you, I've been to Exorcism 203. Just last summer, a student worker had a disconcerting encounter in the same room. Chuck Thompson was okay. So there's, I guess it is men and women. Chuck Thompson was working reshelving books when he noticed a woman at the end of the stack. There was a lady looking at books. She had black hair to about here, he said, running his hand just below his shoulder. She had a black dress with white flowers on it. Thompson said to the woman, "You're not supposed to be in here without permission." But she didn't reply. She walked off. I called ma'am, but she had disappeared. When I went downstairs to tell the lady who was working what had happened, my thumbs started bleeding at the base. Whoa. I hadn't nicked them, and there wasn't a cut, just blood.
Oh, jeez. That's weird.
Yeah. Ramona Hayes remembers seeing the blood and getting him bandages, and her coworker Sherry Johnson said, "Yeah, he won't go back up there." Now, I haven't seen anything myself, but we sometimes hear noises, and the elevator goes up and down by itself. A former security guard reported that the lights would go on and off of their own accord in the archives. One night after returning to extinguish the light 3 times, he said, "Emily, I'm tired. Please go to bed." And the lights stayed off.
Wow. Nice, polite.
Very polite.
Because some ghosts are like, "Oh, you're tired mentally. It's time for me to feast."
Yeah.
When the students go on vacation, Emily often visits Tate dorm for a change of scenery. Allison Norris has had some uncanny experiences during these times. She was a student at Lees McRae, then a resident director of Tate, where she lived on the lower floor with her husband, Craig Norris. Norris helped a student, Misty Arpin, pack all her clothes and possessions to go home. Arpin left the room, locking the door. When she returned, all her clothes and things were unpacked and replaced in the drawers and the closet.
Oh, she didn't want her to leave.
But also really fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Another residence hall for women where a ghost visits is Virginia. Here, Catherine Ann Strickland has made the acquaintance of Emily. One night I woke up and saw a white cloud floating across the room. It was a vague, cloudy shape.
Like clouds can be.
You're a cloud-shaped cloud. Got it.
Very good at describing.
Mm-hmm. English major, obviously.
Yep. The second time I saw something, it was a cloudy figure of a girl walking towards the bell tower by my dorm. Her figure was much more distinct. The third time I saw her much more clearly. It was in Hayes Auditorium during the Christmas concert. She was wearing an old-timey dress. I turned around and saw her in the back of the auditorium, and then she was gone. She looked like a young girl, Strickland said. Tennessee dorm mirrors Virginia on the other side of the North Carolina classroom building. Tennessee is presently unoccupied as it undergoes renovation right in 2000. I'm sure it's good now. But last year, Nick Young, a soccer player from Australia, several times noticed a strange blue light hovering in one of the windows. He didn't think much of it until he saw it during a blackout when the electricity had been knocked out on campus. There was the blue light glimmering like a television screen. When he and his friends went up to the room to investigate, they found nothing. Many other stories circulate about unusual encounters on the 100-year-old campus. The old stone buildings tell no tales, but a weathered tombstone standing in the middle of the Banner Elk Cemetery, adjacent to the Lees McRae College campus, speaks. Chiseled into the stone is the name Emily Drone. And the words, "She is not dead, but sleeping."
Whoa.
Oh, like Cthulhu.
Exactly.
Yowza.
Just one of the old ones.
That's pretty creepy. That definitely feels like a scene from the movie where they're like, I think I found something.
Boy, this sure seems like it's got some sort of resonance here, huh?
Yeah.
Residence Evil.
That is one of the many ghost stories from Appalachia.
Very cool.
You guys want to hear one of my favorites from a college?
Absolutely.
We definitely
It'll
do.
be a short one. Have you guys ever heard of the ghost cow of Morgantown, West Virginia?
Negative.
Nope.
The ghost cow.
Yeah, yeah. I believe it's West Virginia State University. There were a group of guys that were playing a prank. They took a cow. I don't know if you guys knew this, but cows will go upstairs, but they won't go downstairs.
Right?
Yes.
Well, they thought it'd be funny to take a cow up to the highest tower. I don't know how high up it is, really high up. And the cow was stuck up there for a really long time. The staff couldn't get it out. Everybody thought it was hilarious. Eventually, they had to kill the cow.
Oh, no.
Because it would not come down. They just couldn't get it down. And
not so funny now, huh, assholes?
It's been maybe 100 years, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm taking a guess here.
And now, wait, did they kill it in an especially funny way? Because I never
heard that. I just heard that they had to slaughter it, and they actually ate the cow.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
That happens, you know. Well, that's happening all the time.
They tried giving it roller skates to fall down the stairs.
I was wondering if they maybe gave it like a thing of beer nuts that was actually spring snakes and it like had a heart attack, or if they tricked it in
the best way.
Painted a tunnel on a wall and like tricked it into running into it.
Well, anyway, it's
just a hammer.
It's to this day. It's been going on for many years. People hear like a cowbell in the hallways, poof steps
in the
hallways, and people have seen. They say they have seen a cow apparition.
Whoa! The ghost cow,
crazy,
fantastic.
No shit.
I believe that's West Virginia State.
The cow has unfinished business.
Yeah, it stays wants to get those kids. Those fucking I can only assume frat dudes who were like,
it was frat dudes.
Put a cow in this room.
I have a friend that went there. I should ask him if he's heard of that.
Yeah,
ask him if any of his fellow classmates died mysteriously from cow-related deaths.
Yeah,
I'll ask him.
Covered in cow bites.
I know somebody that had their arm broken by a cow recently, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Mm-hmm. The cow claims another.
All right, let me get the skull real quick. Let's end this episode. No. You did perfect. Don't worry
Oh.
about it. You can do whatever you want. You're the guest
My
of the radar.
goal in life was to touch that skull for like 2 seconds.
You did.
Okay, I'm
You
good.
flew close to the skull and you didn't crash.
Here, you want to
Okay.
feed it? Here's a handful of
I gave it some hamburger from that cow.
perfect. Keep your hand flat. Don't let it bite you, or else you will be trapped within it forever.
All right, let me see the skull real quick.
All right, here it is.
All right, ow! Oh, it bit
Sorry.
me.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, before I get trapped in the skull, the contract has been bitten.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk to you all about Appalachia top
Appalachia.
Thank you. A top monster extraordinaire, the Flatwoods Monster.
Yeah.
We talk about it in the news a little bit. You'll hear
Yeah,
why.
baby.
Dark
Yeah, we think
Council
it might be
members
back.
get that early. But
It
it's
might be
like
back
the
in a
premier
new
monster.
South American installation, and a sequel, really.
Truly. But the Flatwoods Monster, I say, is top tier. I'm
she
afraid
is.
to say it now. Say it.
Top tier Appalachia.
Appalachian Monster.
Does it really sound weird if I say it? It sounds
No.
weird if you guys say it.
I want to say it like you say it, and I don't know
See, this
how.
Appalachia.
this is the problem. We're all in our heads about it. And now it's like, do I say camera weird? Do I say camera?
It's like when my wife was talking about going down to the hollow. I was like, what are you talking about?
I can't even
Hollow?
understand you.
You mean like the inside of a donut?
I mean, I wouldn't mind going there. Live in a giant donut.
Yeah.
So
No, go ahead, Roger.
I'm sure we all know a lot about the Flatwoods Monster. This is kind of a rehash overall.
Duh, but refresh me. Let's pretend
Let's
that I don't.
refresh you.
Let's
So
pretend that it's a very complex situation and
this
I
is
can't
from
remember all
it
of it.
is. I found the most complex situation about
It truly is. It is the whole encounter is fucking bonkers.
So this is from braxtonwv.org.
They do good stuff.
They do good stuff. They're kind of like the Braxton Things to Do website. And they have a major tab just featuring the Flatwoods Monster.
They've
Braxton
got a
loves
page.
the
They have
This is
a
one of
page
the-
full of Flatwoods Monster memes, by the way.
They do.
Amazing.
It's phenomenal.
I like that this is one of the things to do in Braxton. Get terrorized by the Flatwoods Monster.
Look at these memes.
Amazing.
The owner of the Flatwoods Monster Museum makes these.
Amazing.
Have you guys heard of the Flatwoods Monster Museum?
No, but I'm
Oh.
immediately
They
Oh, I
interested.
did a
this.
video tour on it, by the way. But
Incredible.
yeah, he makes some great memes.
Really good.
He's doing it. I'm proud
Yeah.
of him.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that one's my favorite one. Did you
Look
hear
at
the
her.
one about Braxy was just an owl? It was a hoot.
Okay.
Oh, the Game of Thrones one was pretty good too. You guys remember the cup on the
Oh, yeah.
Starbucks cup on the Game of Thrones? They had
Yeah.
the little Braxy.
Oh,
I can't
hilarious.
reach mine. I've got one across the room, but yeah, that's the
Anyway,
lantern.
that's the Flatwood Monster. Fucking cultural icon of the
Icon.
community.
Legend. Slaying it.
And we're going to learn about the encounter. So,
Oh, yeah.
it was a fully dark evening,
Huh.
September 12th, 1952. Edward May, Freddie May, Neil Nunley, and Tommy Hayer, all young residents of the town of Flatwoods, were playing on the lawn of the Flatwoods Elementary School. Suddenly, a bright light streaked across the sky overhead and appeared to crash into the hillside on G. Bailey Fisher's farm.
Can we all agree that Neil was probably the one that they all made fun of?
Oh, 100%.
100%.
Yeah, it was probably. Hey, guys see that big flash in that explosion? Yeah, it was probably Nunley's mom. Laughed, cutting another fart.
Oh, somebody I know's mom and uncle saw that. Apparently, it was a big fireball in the sky that night that shot across and landed on somebody's farm.
Wow.
He's one of my listeners, too.
Interesting.
So this fireball was seen by the boys. You got Eddie, Freddie, Neil, and Tommy. Oh, definitely Neil. What an awful name.
Yeah, Neil Nunley.
Sorry, listeners named Neil.
Look, if Neil Nunley's listening, I'd just like to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry about your name. Okay, moving on.
So the boys ran to see what it was they saw in the sky. The Mays' home was on their way, so they stopped to tell their mother, Kathleen May, what they'd seen. Kathleen called the National Guardsman Eugene Lemon and the family dog, Richie, to accompany her and the boys to the crash site. I can only assume Eugene Lemon and the family dog, Richie, were drinking.
Yeah, she had to call the dog. Hang on, let me see if I can get a hold of the dog.
Oh, good. You're with Eugene. I need you both over here.
Something's going on.
It sounds like a bad disco band. Eugene Lemon and the Family Dog.
So upon reaching the crash site, the group saw a pulsing red light. Lemon shined his flashlight up on the hill, and the group witnessed a terrifying sight. A 10-foot tall creature with a head shaped like a spade and what appeared to be a dark metal dress in quotation marks.
That's full plate, baby. That's going to have a high AC.
The creature's hands were twisted and clawed, and what seemed to be its eyes glowed an eerie orange color. It appeared to levitate off the ground, and a strange, sickening mist hung in the air.
Just like Peru.
Just like in Peru. Stick around for the news.
For real.
The creature hissed and glided quickly toward the witness. The group then turned and fled in terror.
Yeah, it's coming at us. It's making quick movements.
Some of the members of the group suffered from throat irritation, vomiting, and nausea, which persisted for days. These symptoms were passed off as a side effect of hysteria.
Oh.
Which was all the craze of catching back in the 50s.
Oh, yeah. Did you know that in the 1800s, they thought hysteria was the result of a woman's womb detaching and floating around her body?
Yeah, floating womb. I mean,
it would get up in the brain, drive you insane.
Get into your brain and make you all crazy.
That's literally what the root of hysteria is.
Yeah. That's why it's called a hysterectomy.
Have some hysteria. I don't know about you guys.
Get that craziness out of you. Anyway, but it is worth noting that these are also telltale signs of exposure to mustard gas.
Oh, interesting.
But if that's the case, so's the flu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good point.
I'm always on the side of the flu. Say what?
I was going to say, I heard a couple things. I've heard so many different versions of it, but I had also heard that the dog died a couple days later.
Whoa.
And they were covered in some kind of oil.
Whoa. Boo.
Like they said, it sprayed oil at them, and they came down from the mountain covered in it.
Wow. Crazy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There were also a couple more sightings of it too. I don't know if you.
Yeah, I got some other sightings. May and Lemon reported this incident to local authorities, who then searched the area that night, claiming to find nothing at all. Another sighting of a creature in similar description to the Flatwoods Monster was reported by Mrs. Audrey Harper, not long before the infamous sighting on Fisher's Farm.
Oh, okay. So this
Harper
was
claims
previous to the kind of
previous. This is a prequel.
Yeah, it was like the day before.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Harper claims to have seen the monster while walking through the woods near her home, near the town of Heaters.
Okay.
It's just up the road.
Heaters is about 5 miles north of Flatwoods. Harper and her friend were talking to a nearby store. The road leading out of their property was implacable. Implacable?
Implacable. I don't know.
I don't know how words work anymore.
But
anyway,
listen,
it was a
hard.
word and rutted.
So they were talking. Was a word.
So they were talking. So they were taking a shortcut through the forest instead of walking the road, which would have increased their trip significantly.
Mm-hmm.
About a half mile into their trip, they noticed a ball of fire on one of the hills they were passing.
Oh boy.
Harper dismissed it. She was all like, I've seen enough of that.
I've seen balls of fire before. That's nothing.
She assumed that it was one of her neighbors fox chasing, which I don't know what that is.
It's just fox hunting.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get a torch, you get some dogs, you have fun, I guess.
Well, yeah, basically you that's exactly probably a lantern or a flashlight.
Yeah, I was going to ask, does it generally involve a ball of fire?
It could.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody's got a lantern, like a fire lantern. I don't know why you would.
Sure.
Well, not these days, but maybe back then, one of those lit lanterns.
The
yeah,
50s.
like an oil, like an
50s.
oil or
I
gas
could see
lamp.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're dealing with possibly something normal, but also a little bit bizarre. When she glanced back, she saw something unbelievable. The fire had vanished, and in its place stood the tall, dark silhouette of a man-shaped figure.
Oh boy.
Terrified, Harper and her friend ran, escaping among the rocks and boulders strewn along the hillside. The day after the September 12th incident, the Flatwoods Monster, another strange sighting occurred. Nope. The day after the September 12th incident in Flatwoods, another strange sighting occurred near Strange Creek.
Oh.
About 20 miles.
Isn't that a happy coincidence?
It's like if you're going from Flatwoods to Point Pleasant, the old back road.
Okay.
Interesting.
We're in backwood country.
Boy, I want to drive that back road.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Reportedly, George and Edith Snitowski and their 18-month-old son were driving through the rural area between Clay and Braxton County on Route 4 when their car suddenly died. Mr. Snitowski attempted to restart the car to no avail. It was nighttime and the road was deserted. While they were trying to decide what to do, a foul, sulfurous smell filled the air and their baby began to cry. A strange, bright light filled the darkness, and the couple witnessed a 10-foot-tall creature hovering in front of the car.
Yeah. This is one of the main things about the Flatwoods Monster is it has this headlight. It has like high beams on its chest.
Which, I mean, I've played tons of exploration games. That's a useful item when you're hopping from planet to planet.
Very true.
Absolutely. I was my nerd reference for this was gonna be like, y'all remember Chamber from the new X-Men? It's kind of a chamber vibe.
Yes, very much so. So the description is similar to that of the original sighting, except the monster was not wearing what presumed to be a spade-shaped hood. Instead, it was reportedly reptilian and bony.
Oh.
It was naked.
Yeah. Except the monster was not wearing pants.
The creature dragged.
So is the idea here that it like the spade-shaped hood was some kind of a space suit, and at this point it has shed this thing, and this is what was inside?
Yes, I think
I heard the third one. It had the spade-shaped hood, but it didn't have the armor on. Maybe.
Oh wow. Boy,
I think it's what
my man's just having a couple of days. My dude is on one.
We would land on the planet. We would keep our shit on. When we realized we could breathe or live in its atmosphere, we would eventually shed our armor / space suit.
Just getting all frustrated.
You're living beyond laws and social norms at that point. Why not?
Exactly.
Shed your clothes with your morality.
Yeah.
Do what comes as it will.
Fly your freak flag.
Yeah.
Do what the Flatwoods Monster would do. Join a nudist colony.
This thing's just
in Peru.
This thing's just hanging dong out there.
But try not to take people's faces.
Yeah, leave their faces. Those aren't your faces.
Listen to the news.
Trying to make a new outfit out of faces.
And the creature in this case dragged its lizard-like hand across the hood of the car before drifting away into the woods. It just floated, seductively dragged its fingers across the hood. I can only assume enticing them to join it in the woods.
The woods have room for 3.
Oh, yikes.
As soon as the monster was out of sight, the car restarted and the couple sped away.
I don't know why, but it seems like it's getting frustrated to me.
It's because it's trying so hard. It's thirsty and no one's giving it what it needs.
It seems like it's just like at this point in its journey, just being like, oh, what do I fucking care? Like slaps the hood of the car. I'll be in the woods, I guess.
Here's my hand. Okay, I'll be seeing the woods.
Yeah.
Snatowski.
Real cute kid. Quit crying, you little bastard.
Snatowski would later give his account to Mail magazine in 1955. If you're looking for the original article, you're looking for a magazine called Mail magazine.
Mm-hmm. They ran Female magazine right out of business.
Yep.
These stories have become an eerie folktale, creating a fascinating culture. As we talked about, the whole town's ablaze. Braxton loves them. They're on their website. It's the main thing on their website. Its tab is larger than every other tab on there.
It's this and the Burger King.
And the Burger King. But the Burger Kings are usually good.
Dollar General? They got a Dollar General now.
Oh, yeah. There's a dollar. There might be 2 in Braxton County.
That's too many.
2 warring Dollar
I don't even
General.
have a Dollar General in my town.
You don't want one, truly. They got good prices on pasta, but everything else is dented.
One of them's doing 1 cent off Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Entice people away from the other Dollar General.
And neither of them have Flatwood Monsters.
And that's truly it as far as I have prepared on the Flatwood Monster without going into a deep dive and finding very, very unique encounters, which seem to be happening to this day, as you'll find about in the news, where Peru is having some unusual stresses with a creature that kind of looks like the Flatwood Monster.
I connected the dots.
Jimmy connected the dots.
I figured it out.
From now on, you're part of the radar. We're going to need your blood. Well, not we need your blood. The radar needs your blood. You're part of us now.
You'll be added to the collective.
But let me turn off the skull here. Let me do the runes reverse. I forgot what you did exactly. Well, now it's glowing purple. I'm just going to pass this to you.
Okay, great. And I'm going to shut it in the skull receptacle and hope that it figures out itself. Folks, that does it for another episode of Werewolf Radar. Thank you so much for your continued support of the show. Thank you, Jimmy, for coming and joining us. You can catch Jimmy over at the Spooky Appalachia YouTube channel. You can catch him on this week's news. You can catch him on this week's Grave Nugget. Shout out to our Dark Council members who came and kicked it in the Zoom room. We got Cheese Bob.
I'm also a Dark. Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely. We got Jimmy, a Dark Council member who rose all the way to the top and is actually on the show at this point. So once again, keep sending us your stories. If you're a rat man or a rat woman, a rat person, please reach out. We're looking for Ratman encounters. If you have seen a rat person, please let us know. If you like what we did here, go to twitch.tv/werewolf_radar. You can watch us there playing video games, playing D&D. You can find us on X. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us at werewolfradar.com. You can find us at patreon.com/werewolfradar if you would like to get in on this Dark Council action. Threads, we are on Threads. Boy, what a strange world to live in these days. And we're all over the place. It'd be harder not to run into us.
Just Google Werewolf Radar. Visit our website. You can listen to old episodes and new episodes. You can listen to the very first one that we remember in this continuum, the re-wolfening. What happened before, we're not sure.
Who knows? Maybe you could tell us. Shout out to Chuck from Snappy Little Numbers for our intro and outro song. Y'all are the best. Until next time, as always, our sign-off line on the count of 3. Jimmy, you want to join us on the sign-off line?
I'll try.
We say punch the sky, Spaceman Joe.
Oh, I thought it was Chuck Man Jones.
No. Punch the sky, Spaceman Joe. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Punch the sky, Chuck Man Jones.
I like that one.
Kinda like it too.